The Clippers traded away one of their top scorers in a salary dump. The Lakers, meanwhile, played a little bitty cutesy role in a 7-team trade, and Clayton Kershaw gets baseball's version of a retirement gold watch by being named to the All-Star team. Good afternoon. I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Afternoon Report. It is July 7, 2025. Sorry for the delay, guys. Airport hell. At least they didn't have to mop me up off the side of a mountain in a crash. I'll live with that. So if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Before we go through the news notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Houston 5, Dodgers 1. The less said about this weekend, the better. Because today, the Dodgers are at Milwaukee, and the game will start at 4:40. So with that out of the way, what do you say we get to the news, starting with the big news that broke this morning. Norman Powell's reward for a career year with the Clippers. Here's a ticket to Miami, pal. Thanks for all you've done. The Clippers dealt Powell and a draft pick away as part of a 3-team, 4-player swap with the Heat and Utah that some scribes have labeled a blockbuster. It's not a blockbuster. Stop it. But it damn sure changes the direction of the Clippers franchise. And while I was struggling to get home from work, I've been spending all that time pondering why the hell the Clips would make this deal, other than not wanting to pay Powell when his contract is up. To be clear, it's not a lousy trade. You don't give him an F for making the deal, but the dude averaged almost 22 points a game last year. He was in the discussion for an all-star spot last year after filling in admirably for Paul George. Without Norman Powell, I don't think there was any chance in hell that the Clippers make the playoffs. Remember, they were missing Kawhi Leonard for more than half the season. Now, what they get back is they're going to get a power forward in John Collins, who is younger, and he averages about 19 points per game, so you don't want to throw that away. He clearly doesn't suck, but it's still not crystal clear how all of the pieces fit together with the Clips. This guy might be on the bench for all we know. And if that's the case, you're really scratching your head. Now, technically, I say he could be on the bench because Leonard is your power forward. The only way that this trade begins to start making sense is if, much like Anthony Davis didn't want to play center when he was with the Lakers, if you're the Clippers and you're saying, you know what, Leonard's days as a power forward are totally numbered because he's injured all the bloody time. So what do you say? We take some of the pressure off him, shift him to small forward, and then have Collins go in there with Ivica, lining up next to Ivica Zubac. Now that starts to make a little bit more sense. Only there's a bit of a problem with that too. Collins only played in 40 games last year. Now as for Powell, we want to be fair to the Clippers. He appeared to run out of gas after the All-Star break. And he too missed time with hamstring and knee issues. And since he's approaching his mid-30s, it's fair to say, you know what? Do we really want to back the Brinks truck up to a guy who's probably going to get injured a lot more as his career eventually winds down? Again, he's extension eligible for a Clippers team that has been bound and gagged by the evil second apron of the salary cap. So is this a crazy idea by the Clippers? No, it's not. I'm not necessarily sure, though, that I'd be so hyped to give up one of the few draft picks you have left, though. Now, the draft pick, which is in the second round, that's what goes to Utah. So I've just thrown a lot of names out at you. Let's get to the bottom line. Where does this leave the Clippers? Out of the 3 teams involved in the trade, I think the Clippers got the booty end of the deal. because Miami gets Norman Powell. I know what they're going to get in Norman Powell. They needed a third scoring option behind Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. So this makes sense for them. As for the Jazz, well, hell, the suckitude never ends with the Jazz. They're just trying to create as much cap space and get as many assets as possible to finally achieve mediocrity. So yeah, you totally can say they did a decent job with the trade. But when you're talking about the Clippers, when you're talking about a team last year that some people thought was, again, a threat to get to the Western Conference Finals, it's a potentially great offensive front court. I don't think Collins particularly excels at defense, but it's a pretty decent offensive front court. But you're replacing Norman Powell, who is a shooting guard, with Chris Dunn? I don't know about that. And I would also say that, yeah, it does give you a fallback option when, not if, Leonard eventually misses games due to injury. But here's where everything starts to run afoul. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yes, you get further under the salary cap eventually. You've created an offensive front court, but Coach Ty Lue and assistant coach Jeff Van Gundy stressed defense overall. And yes, I realize there have been rumors potentially adding Bradley Beal if he gets bought out by Phoenix. And then you say, okay, we'll put Bradley Beal in the place of Chris Dunn. But let's not get it confused with this, guys. Bradley Beal, you would need a team of archaeologists to locate where he left the prime of his career. He is nowhere near what he used to be. So salary dumps are sometimes needed, but they don't win trades. So the Clippers neither win this trade, but you're not sitting there going, what the F either. Once again, Clippers shake up the franchise in a 3-team, 4-player deal. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Here's a trade on a decidedly smaller scale, barely noticeable, this particular part of the trade. Kind of like the child extra in Back to the Future 3, who went out of his way to look at the camera and point at his own penis at the end of the movie. Barely noticeable. A couple of days ago, we mentioned how the Lakers reportedly played a role in the Kevin Durant trade. So, we now know what the role is. This 7-team trade where everybody got involved to eventually give Kevin Durant his latest wish of going to Houston. The Lakers were able to move up in the NBA draft. That's how they were able to select Adu Thero in the second round. And it was simply a pick swap. They sent the 45th overall pick back to one of the other 6 teams. I didn't even bother to look up which one it was. Also, with the Lakers, one of the most worthless things a sports writer can do is copy and paste tweets and claim this is part of growing calls to get rid of a player. Some dopey website named Athlon Sports claims that there are growing calls for the Lakers to trade Dalton Connect after one Summer League game. Shh, stop it. Stop it. One Summer League game where he stinks up the joint and there's growing calls to get rid of Dalton Connect. And whoever this lard-ass scribe, what he did to get the cheap byline was he copied 5 fan tweets. Not coaches, not scouts or retired players who actually know what it takes to be a functioning NBA player. No. Just 5 drunks with a smartphone and a 6-pack. 5 tweets. I mean, I wished everybody a happy July 4th on a social media account. I had 8 randos tweet me back saying we don't deserve to have a country. It is not that hard to find 5 people demanding something. But if you're demanding Dalton Knecht get dumped by the Lakers, you're begging. Clayton Kershaw was a sentimental choice for the NL All-Star team. He wound up being one of 5 Dodgers to make the roster for what was once called the Midsummer Classic. And yeah, it's cool that he's on it, but I'm not even going to watch. Look, when I was a kid, I used to get super excited about the All-Star game. Now, it's not the Midsummer Classic, it's just the Midsummer Time Killer. Now for the Dodgers, again, great haul. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Will Smith. But again, the game has totally lost its luster. I'm not going to get into some big whining fest over the fact that Mookie Betts had an 8-year streak of going to All-Star games, how that was snapped. I'm not going to lose my bladder over Andy Pages not getting on the team. And if you're sitting there going, James, aren't you being a little bit hard on the All-Star game? Here's the thing. Ever since 2002, the commissioner allowed the game to end in a tie. Do you remember that? And this retired schlub who used to play for the Phillies, John Kruk, he told fans to shut the bleep up and realize that they just watched 9 innings of compelling baseball. Shut up about a tie and be happy with it. Well, what John Kruk needed to realize is the only reason that he had a job as a broadcaster after his playing career is because TV execs needed a jovial fat slob for comic relief. Only he's not jovial. He's a sourpuss. He's kind of a turd. Nobody's seen this guy on Fox Sports 1 ever since takes like that. Because it was his lousy opinions that led to the cancellation of the awkwardly named Best Damn Sports Show period. Pardon me for being a baseball purist. Again, happy that Kershaw's going. But you play every baseball game to win. There are no ties. So miss me with the All-Star game. But it's nice he's going. And you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, about what you think with the Clippers trade. Am I misreading it? Do you see something I don't see? And for that matter, Dalton Knecht. Are you part of the growing call to get rid of the guy? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thanks for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortel Queso production. Take care.